Is the Macron Merz duo bringing back the Franco-German axis?
The Merzcron duo of French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Friedrich Merz signals the return of the European Union's most important alliance. The warm handshake between Chancellor Friedrich Merz and President Emmanuel Macron outside the Élysée Palace in May was more than just symbolic. It was a clear sign of the revival of Europe's most crucial partnership. Observers have even coined a new term for this alliance: Merzcron. Since taking office in May, Chancellor Merz and President Macron have held numerous meetings and working sessions, notably at the NATO summit on June 25th and the European Union summit on June 26th. At these two gatherings, the French and German leaders demonstrated strong unity through a shared agenda: advancing the EU security response, addressing the Ukraine conflict, navigating the new dynamics under US President Donald Trump's administration, and shaping Europe's role on the global stage. Ahead of the NATO summit, Macron and Merz also outlined their vision more clearly in a joint op-ed published in the Financial Times. In these testing times, France and Germany, together with our European and transatlantic friends and allies, will always remain united and strong in defending our shared values, as well as the freedom and security of our citizens, wrote Macron and Merz in their joint commentary. The two leaders outlined plans for a new increase in defence spending, targeting 3.5% of GDP, along with proposals to deepen NATO-EU cooperation and to call for a stronger, more sovereign Europe that is no longer dependent on others for its security. The French and German leaders also pledged to ensure that Ukraine becomes prosperous, strong and secure, warning that Europe's stability for decades to come is at stake. All of this signals a powerful Franco-German alliance, with the emerging term Merzcron gaining influence, on par with previous partnerships like Mercron between Macron and former German Chancellor Angela Merkel, or Merkozy between Merkel and former French President Nicolas Sarkozy. According to former German Deputy Foreign Minister Wolfgang Ischinger, President Macron and Chancellor Merz hit it off quite easily and quickly adapted to each other. They enjoy engaging with each other. They like tackling tough questions. These two have a way of understanding each other and are open, Ischinger observed, adding that the Merzcron alliance is a prerequisite for getting Europe back on track and driving the continent forward. Ischinger also noted that the May 2025 trip by President Macron, Chancellor Merz, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk to Ukraine was a symbol of a new, more determined alignment among Europe's major powers to push for progress in Ukraine. Former French President François Hollande similarly remarked that one of the clearest signs of the Merzcron partnership is their joint support for Ukraine. Since the Russia-Ukraine conflict began in 2022, France has taken a tougher stance than Germany in backing Ukraine. President Macron has strongly supported the idea of deploying ground troops to Ukraine, as well as allowing Kyiv to use French long-range missiles to strike targets inside Russia. Chancellor Merz has also taken a tougher stance than his predecessors. After taking office, he invited Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to Berlin and announced a new $5 billion aid package for Ukraine, which includes joint cooperation on developing long-range missiles capable of striking deep into Russia. The return of President Trump has likewise pushed Europe's major powers to forge new ties, especially concerning Europe's security. Former French President François Hollande noted that Trump's insistence that Europe do more to defend itself has forced France and Germany to work together on diplomatic and military matters, even though their primary link had traditionally been monetary issues. From now on, a shared responsibility has taken shape. Germany must do more for its own defense, and France must be ready to share some of its proposals and initiatives with Germany, including on defense, Hollande emphasized. Even before taking office, Chancellor Merz had pushed for reforms to Germany's constitutional debt brake, unlocking over $500 billion for defense spending. He also pledged to build the largest army in Europe. According to Hollande, Germany's rearmament might once have been hard for France to accept, but today no one in France fears it. In fact, they welcome Germany's actions. The Merzcron partnership also appears to align well with President Trump's approach. Both have held warm, positive meetings with the US leader in the Oval Office without any notable clashes or disagreements.